Hello beautiful humans, my name is Taryn and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I just got back from vacation and I still feel like I'm not really here. But we have our third Stanley for the day and we have the gym in 45-ish minutes. So I need to speed through this video and go figure my life out. Okay, today we are doing my first ever YouTube monthly reading wrap up. I've done them on Instagram before, but they've literally just been pictures of my books that I've read. So today I'm actually going to be talking about all of them. So this month I've read 14 books, which is really good. I mean, I normally read around 12 to 16, so that's right in the middle. I'm very happy with what I read this month. I cannot wait to talk to you about these books, to rave about some of them, to be like about some of them. Let's talk about them. Okay, the first book that I read this month, the start to my reading year, was Promises and Pomegranates by Sav R. Miller. Now this, I had no idea what I was getting into. I did not know that it was a mafia romance, and it took me by a very good surprise. I gave this book a 3.75 stars. It wasn't like the most amazing book that I've ever read. It wasn't the worst book that I've ever read. I would recommend it, especially because I've heard the other books in the series get even better, and I am so excited for the other characters I know that we've met so far to read about their stories. But this one was cute and fun. It was forced marriage, touch her and yeah, the only thing that I wasn't the biggest fan of about this is they kind of tried to sell it as a Hades Persephone thing, and I feel like it was very forced. I don't know. It was good. I liked it. I can't wait to read the other ones, but it wasn't like my absolute favorite thing in the entire world. So take with that as you will. The next book I read, I actually listened to on audiobook, and that is Legendary. This is the second book in the Caraval series. This follows the sister, and I read this, or I listened to this book in my first reading vlog, so I don't really want to say a lot about it because I know that I talked about this book a lot in that, but it continues the story from the first book, Caraval, instead, except this time you're listening from the sister's point of view, and it's like after the first Caraval games. I really liked it. I think I gave it, I'm looking at my Goodreads, I gave it a 4-star, which I think I gave the entire series a 4-star. I really like this one. Yeah, I do highly recommend listening to these books. Very good. And then I read The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, and Abby became one of my auto-buy authors. I'm so obsessed with her. I need to read all of her books. The banter, the way that she writes, just the romance, the rom-com, it was so freaking good. I gave this a 4.5 stars because although it was amazing, the main female character kind of annoyed me a little bit just because she was pushing off our main guy so much, and it was just like every time you would think that they would get together, then she'd push him away, and then you'd think, and then she'd push him away, and it was very back and forth the entire time, which I understand. I really do. I get it. Like, I get why she did it, but it just kind of got annoying to read. But I still loved it. It was still a 4.5. Please don't get me wrong. It's still amazing. Please read it. Please read it. I then read King of Wrath by Anna Huang. I love Anna's writing so much. These two books back to back, y'all, I was screaming. I was so freaking happy about my hair. This book, Vivian and Dante, I loved them, and I was a little scared going into this because I didn't hear like the best of things, but how I love this book so freaking much. This was another forced marriage, touch her and unalive. My wife, you know how they, my wife, you know. God, I loved it so much. If you can't tell, please read this. I cannot wait for the other books in the series. Anna, you're an angel. an angel for these men. I then read a thriller, my monthly thriller. I read Alice Feeney, Rock, Paper, Scissors. I gave this book 4 stars. I love a good thriller, you know? I do feel like I always give thrillers 4 stars unless they completely blow me out of the waters. Unless they completely blow me out of the water. Cannot talk today. But I tend to be very bored at the beginning just because it's trying to set the scene, it's trying to like blah blah blah, and I was bored. So yeah, but the end of this, didn't see it coming. Did not see it coming at all. Let me just make sure that I gave it a 4 star instead of like a 4.25. Right now I would say a 4, but I gave it a 4.25. So a little bit higher than a 4 because I guess it deserved that little bit higher. I do believe that because that twist was crazy. Actually, there was a bunch of plot twists at the end and I was like, what is even happening right now? So yeah, this was good. I am on an Alice Feeney kick right now. I love her writing. Very good. After that, or probably during, around the same time, I listened to Finale, which is the 3rd book in the Caraval series. This one, again, I gave it a 4 stars. The entire series was a 4 star. This was kind of going back and forth between each sister's perspective. It brought in the Fates, which was just like otherworldly humans, people, gods, which I thought was super fun. And I believe her new series that she just came out with, or her new duology that she just came out with, is a spin-off of this, which is super exciting because I think it has to do with the like Prince of Hearts. I think that's his Jax, I'm gonna guess, but I could be wrong with that name, but it sounds right to me right now. It's about him, which is super exciting because I really liked his character in this one. I was rooting for him. So yeah, I hope that little tidbit didn't spoil anything. I then read another amazing 4.5 star romance, Isn't It Bromantic, by Lyssa K. Adams. This was my freaking favorite book in this entire series. I do have one more book to read in the series, but this was so good. And I was very scared because I did not think that I was going to like the main male character. I thought I was going to actually hate him. I loved him. Loved him. I love this series. This entire series I'm honestly obsessed with, which is funny because after I read the first one, I was like, do I really want to read the other ones? I bought them all. I bought all 4 of them because they were so cheap on, I don't know, some book resale site, book website that I can't, book outlet. They were so cheap on book outlet, so I was like, oh, let me buy them all. But then I read the first one and I was like, I don't really know. And then I kept reading and I'm so happy I kept reading. I will recommend this series to everyone. It is so funny. It is so cute. It is such a rom-com. Like those feels that you get when you listen to a rom-com, listen, read, watch a rom-com, that's what you get. I love it. I love it so much. And I know that's weird, like me saying like I loved it so much but I didn't give it a 5 star, but I would like to say that I'm picky about my 5 stars, okay? I have to cry at least 57 times for me to give it a 5 star. That's a lie. I have to cry at least like 10 times for me to give it a 5 star. And this one I only cried like 4. So it was good, but it wasn't there. Okay. After that, I read Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This was by far my favorite one so far that I've read. This is my first time reading them, and I've only watched, well, I did just watch, no, I still didn't finish this book or this movie. I've watched movies 1, 2, 3, and part of 4. Diego, my boyfriend, was watching it last night and I still didn't finish it. Honestly, because while we were watching it, I was like, babe, this is not how this happened. This is wrong. So I was getting mad, so I didn't want to keep watching it. But I really like this one. I think I gave it a 4.5 star, maybe a 5. Okay. Yeah, I gave it a 5 stars. I really like this book. I don't know if it's because the kids were getting older, so the writing seemed older to me, but I loved it so much. I cannot wait to continue reading the series, and now I literally have no clue what's gonna happen, so that's super fun and exciting. After that, I did my first Kindle book of the month, which was Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter, and this was such a cute, fun, easy, short read. I gave it 4 stars. It was just one of those that just like made you happy to read. It was super cute. I read it in 2 days. It was like 280 pages-ish, maybe. But I loved it. I thought it was, like I've said a bajillion times, so easy to read, so cute. It made me smile the entire time. I was laughing. I loved both main characters. I do recommend this if you want a short read, if you want something to go in between really long reads. Like I read this in between Harry Potter and my next 2 really long books, so yeah, 4 stars. I don't know if I said that. After that I read the Takeover by T.L. Swan, and I loved this book. I was not expecting the heavy topics that this book had in it, but I really liked it. I really did. I gave it a 4-star because I have found that the men in these books are kind of cringy. They're kind of cringy. And I feel like when you're talking about some of the topics that you're talking about, that and cringy don't really go together. Like in a rom-com, cringe is funny to me. In this, where you're talking about being a widow and finding love again and being scared that you have children and you're trying to bring this man into your life with your children, like, and their loss with their dad, a lot of it was just hard to then read about Tristan, the main guy, who is kind of childish, and like some of the things that he said, I was like, what? You know, I don't honestly know if any of what I just said made sense, but I still really liked it. I love Tristan. He was really funny, although childish at times. Her kids were so funny and crazy. I loved them, and Claire was just a boss babe, which I love to read about. So I did like it. I gave it 4 stars. I'm gonna keep reading them, the books, because I want to finish the series. There's 4 brothers, but I did like this one more than the first one, I will say that. Can y'all explain to me what this hair is doing back there? After that, I finished my second Kindle Unlimited book of the month, which is Beneath the Stars by Emily McIntire, and I loved this book as well. I had a really good reading month, I will not lie. I had a very, very, very good reading month. I gave this 4 stars. I really do love Emily McIntire's writing. She also wrote Hooked, Scarred, Wretched, and then her new one, Twisted, is coming out next month. I have it on pre-order. Yeah, next month, February. I have it on pre-order. But you know, like those books that while you're reading it, it's like you're watching a movie and you don't want, like if you put the book down, it's like you pause the movie. So then your mind is like, why would I pause a movie as I'm watching it? Hopefully that makes sense. That's how I felt about this. I read 50% of it one morning, and then I went to work, and as I was at work, I could not stop thinking about it. I was like, wait, what's happening now? It's like I left the movie, but it was still going. Like that's what my mind was saying. Does that make sense? Like the book was being read without me reading it. Do you know what I mean? Am I just crazy? Probably, but I really liked it. It was a romance, or it is a romance. It's another series, so I get to keep reading, which I'm fine with because I'm super excited about the other characters, to read about the other characters. God, I really liked it. The spice was really good. The spice was really good. I finished this on the plane to Nashville, and when I tell you I had to swipe through some scenes because I was scared the man sitting next to me was reading my phone, I was like, I cannot be reading this with this man next to me. Diego was asleep on this side, so it was I couldn't do it, but I really liked it. Highly recommend. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I loved it. Okay. And then the love of my life came into play. The absolute best book that I've ever read in my entire life. I will never stop talking about this book. I still to this day cannot really think too hard about what I'm about to show you because I'll start crying. I finished Kingdom of Ash. It was so good. I can't. I loved it. It was amazing. If you have not read Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, please read this series. It's so amazing. I thought that McIntire was the love of my life, but this book was so good. I was not expecting half of the stuff that happened. I cried so much. I screamed so much. I loved it. And I'm so sad that it's over, but I'm also so happy the way that it ended. Like, so unbelievably happy the way that it ended. But I need at least 57 more books just following these characters and them being happy. They deserve it. So I need that. So. And if you didn't get it, 5 out of 5 stars. Actually, 5,000,120. That's the number. So many stars. So many stars for this book. Then I read The Confidence of Wildflowers. I read this in 5 hours. I don't know why. It was, I will say, an extremely easy read. Extremely easy. Like, I was just reading and I was like, none of this is hard to understand. Nothing is going on that's crazy. Like, it was very, very easy to read. Now, was it good? That's a question that we could ask ourselves. Was it good? I gave it, I think, a 3. Yeah, I think I gave it a 3-star. I'm just still kind of like sitting on it because I do want to read the second one. It ended on like kind of a cliffhanger, but also just, it's like I'm being nosy with my neighbor's drama. Like, that's kind of how I feel. Like, I just want to know the drama. So I want to keep reading. I don't think that the plot twist should have happened. It was absolutely ridiculous. I think that was stupid, but hey, it was written, so yep, that's this one. But I will be reading the next one. I already have it, so like, why not? And again, easy read. That's this one. Did I say who it was by? Micalea Smeltzer. The cover's so beautiful. So like, I still would keep it because hello? Beautiful. And then I wasn't expecting to get this book in, honestly, but when we got off the plane yesterday, when we got home after I cooked dinner, I was just kind of like, I feel in the mood to read. However, I don't like to read a book and then finish it in another month. It's a weird thing for me. I know, okay? But I was like, well, let me just start it and see how I feel. The Happy Ever After playlist. 5 stars. Amazing. Beautiful. I loved every second of it. Abby Jimenez is the love of my life. She could do no wrong with my eyes. Okay? This is the second book. I'm sorry if you can hear Pepper barking. This is the second book in her Friend Zone trilogy, and it was just so amazing. I can't, how do you say that something is the most amazing thing that you've ever read? Because I loved it. It was funny. It was beautiful. It was cute. The main characters were like that type of love that just like, it hurts to read, you know what I mean? I thought it was so good. I could have killed Jason at the end. I really could have, but it was still amazing. And are you joking? Sloan is the cutest human in the entire world, okay? The cutest human. And I got to read more from the characters in the Friend Zone. I loved it so much. And the third book in the trilogy is on my February TBR, and I'm just so excited. I like don't want to read all of her books because I don't want them to end. And I think she only has 5 books out right now. I need to look into that, okay? But this was so cute. I highly recommend Abby Jimenez if you've not read her books yet. Please read them. Please. Okay, beautiful humans. Those were all of the books that I read in January. That was 14 books total. I kind of liked talking to you guys this much about all the books that I read in January, and I hope you guys liked it too, because I would love to continue to do these. Let me know in the comments down below what book was your favorite that you read in the month of January. I don't honestly know that that sentence made sense, but I tried it 4 different ways in my head and I couldn't figure it out. So like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified for all of my next videos. I don't know if there's going to be a weekly vlog this week just because I didn't vlog at all when I went on vacation this weekend. It was just nice. I was barely on my phone, I think because I'm just always on my phone now with Bookstagram and BookTube and all that whatever. So I took like 5 photos. It was ridiculous, but yeah. So I will see you next week. I hope you loved this video. I love all of you. Goodbye, beautiful humans. Not the Z.